It has fallen on me tonight to give you all a word of welcome to all the members of the management committee, to the volunteer helpers, and to all the guests. As you know, my partner Alfred and I are both new to the job of captain and vice captain, and I'm not so often at giving speeches, but I would just like to say how thankful we are to our volunteer helpers for all the work they have put in the past few months when they came down to the club and taught our lads all the things that they have. And I would like to thank the members of the management committee for the work they have put in behind the scenes. This work goes unnoticed in the general hullabaloo of the club, but I think all the boys appreciate what has been done for them. I don't think any of you will miss a Christmas party for the world. Nor would any of you lads, judging by the look of content on your faces. We lads have a queer way of showing our appreciation of your work, but sometimes there are things which prove to you that your work is well worthwhile. For instance, the other day a lad said to me that he thought that some of the best years of his life had been spent in Hunslet Boys Club, and I think that proves that your work has been well worthwhile. And there I think I will close my speech tonight, ladies and gentlemen, with another thank you from Alfred and myself, and on behalf of the boys, for the help and guidance you have given us so far in the past, and I hope that your guidance and help will carry on in the future. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. I will now call upon Mrs. F.E. Tetley to reply on behalf of the guests.
Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, boys members of the Hunslet Boys Club. When Mr. Goodyear rang me up the other morning to ask if, rather diffidently, asked me if I would second the vote to the guests, and I said yes, I was delighted to be able to do so. Any of you who know me at all or know of me will know that I really do like getting onto my feet and saying a few words, because I'm always so delighted to be asked here that I was so pleased that I would be able to get up and express the delight and the pleasure of the many times that we have come to see you all here year by year. I see on the paper that I am given 5 minutes. Well, that of course cramps my style, because left alone I could probably go on for 25 minutes. Not that you would want that. But I am speaking on behalf of the guests here, and I am sure I can say for all of them, as well as for myself, that it is a great pleasure and it is a great delight to come to this club. And I can tell you that the Boys Club has made a tremendous name for itself in the annals of the Boys Club Association. And you who are members, who keep it going, work hard, I understand that you have run far ahead of your target this year, and I don't know quite whether that is the result of why we've had knife and fork, ham and tea today instead of sandwiches. But I can only hope that next year, if this has been the result of your increasing your target, that you'll increase it still further, and if we are invited, we shall again have a knife and fork and ham and tea, which I for one have thoroughly enjoyed, and I know everyone else has too. Now I can see by the clock that my time is up, so once again I will say thank you for myself and for the remainder of the guests.
Another 4 minutes.
like me to get up
Promise
there.
you to go. You've been recorded.
I would like to call upon Brigadier Ramsden, the Vice President of the club, to speak to the volunteer helpers and to the instructors.
You can have my extra service.
Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, and members of this club. You know, it's a most frightening thing to talk on this occasion because of this instrument in front of me here. I understand it records every word you say, and about 3 months later they turn it off on a record, and what you said is recorded. I wonder what would happen if everything that these boys said in this club was recorded in this instrument and they had to learn it the following day. What they said when they lost a game of ping pong, what they said on many occasions. It'd be a jolly good lesson to you, I think, to learn to be very careful what you say if everything you said was recorded. Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, my task tonight, and a very pleasant task too, first of all as a guest, is to express my appreciation of the good fare we've enjoyed tonight. In my younger days, boys called it ripping. Then later on they called it topping. Now I believe they call it smashing, don't they? It's a smashing show. And a very good description too. Well, I've had a smashing time here tonight, and I'm sure all the guests have had the same thing. But my particular task is to propose to express the appreciation of the management of this club, and I think the appreciation of the boys themselves to the voluntary helpers who've helped to make this club so successful. You know, a club depends primarily upon the boys in it. They are the club. Their conduct, their outlook on life, everything they do is what matters most, I'm quite certain. Their character, the way they behave, what they think of the club, all those things matter more than anything else. The boys themselves are the club. But they could never get along, I'm quite certain, unless they had some leaders and some voluntary helpers. And I want to express tonight, as best I can, the appreciation of all of us for all the work that's done here by those people who give of their time and their energy to help you boys along. You know, there's some very tired people do it sometimes, some very busy people do it sometimes, and they come along here to help this club. And do you know, I think from my experience, we're all a bit apt to take it for granted, aren't we? Here they are, they're always here, always cheerful, always helping, and we're inclined to say, well, the old jossers, after all, they're part of the club. But just let's think of it sometimes, you boys, let's think of it, what it sometimes does mean for these people. When they've had a busy day to come down here with all their worries and responsibilities, to come down here and lend a hand with you boys, when they're feeling tired and saying, as even grown-ups do sometimes, saying, "Gertcha." You know the expression, you've probably heard it. And just saying, well, I'm too tired, but they come down here nonetheless, and they help in all sorts of ways in getting this club going. And I, therefore, am trying tonight to express, I think more on behalf of the boys than anybody else, the appreciation that you have, I'm quite sure, for all these voluntary and willing helpers and instructors who really help to make this club a success, and to make it one of the best boys' clubs in the whole of the country. And it's done, as I say, for two reasons. First of all, because we've the right boys here. Secondly, because we've the right person in charge of the boys. Mr. Goodyear, may I say that, because I believe that matters tremendously. And thirdly, because we have a whole lot of people who are willing to give of their spare time, their enthusiasm and their energy to make this club a success. And what is their object in doing it? Well, may I just venture a suggestion what their object is? And their object is, I think, to bring a bit of happiness to all you lads. To enable you, I think, to live a better and fuller life than you would do otherwise. That's their object. To come down to give you a hand. And therefore I'm quite certain you boys do appreciate that. And if you do think occasionally, how is it this club does go round as it does it because it's got a good organisation. It does it too because so many ladies and gentlemen are willing to come down here and give of their leisure for your benefit. And therefore it's my very pleasant duty tonight, on behalf of the management of this club and as a vice president, on behalf, I think, of you boys yourselves, to say to all those who are helping to make this club such a great success, to those old boys of the club, and I do think they matter tremendously, don't they?